Well, welcome to everyone. It's Sports and Songs podcast. We're on season 6, episode number 42. Andy, tonight's the sports edition.
Yes. Yes. Big
Today
weekend in
is
sports. Yes.
I got a little confused here coming into the intro, but it's August 25th, 2025. We're coming up to Labor Day weekend, and with that is Minnesota State baseball tournament, the football season, college football. Tonight we have a lot to cover
High
on our
school football
sports.
kicks off this week.
High school soccer, all these things are going on now. And once again, we're caught in the middle of it here at Sports and Songs with everything going on. We love it though, right? We
That
love
keeps us busy. Yep.
it this time of year. Let's start off with a trivia question. Then what we'll
Yes.
do is just get right into the sports updates for the listeners.
Dive in. Go ahead.
Trivia question. On this day, 40 years ago on this day, which major league pitcher became the youngest to win 20 games? So we're August 25th on this day. This would have been 1985. Which pitcher became the youngest to win 20 games? Meaning he was a 20-game winner already now. We don't see that much now anymore.
No, we don't.
We'll get the answer at the end of the show.
All right. Here we go. Here's the Mets schedule for the rest of the year. 32 games left. 7 against the Phillies. They're a handful of games back. How many games are there? 69, 61. There are 32 games left. 16 home, 16 road. You know, that's all lining up. Last 3 against the Marlins at Miami. That's looking good. You know, they got 7 against the Marlins too. You know, you hate to say 7 wins there, but I'm gonna be optimistic and say there's 5 wins of those 7.
Okay.
All right. The Cubs are playing good, but with 6 games to go, will the Cubs have it wrapped up, and how hard are they gonna be trying then? You know, Washington's Washington, they blow ass. So those last 9 games could be 7 wins, 8 wins right there. You know, yeah, 7 against the Phillies. Excuse me. If you take 4 out of 7 there, which would be hard because 4 are out Philadelphia, but if you could be above 500 on that one, make up a game in the standings against them. And that's the key. You got to make up the games against the Phillies. You've got to go 5-2 against them to make up some ground.
Head to head, yes. Splitting is not going to do you any good.
Because if the playoffs started today, here is the playoff picture.
Nice.
Mets are in today. If the playoffs started today, they have the 6th seed playing the number 3 Dodgers. Then you have to go to that Philadelphia. And you see the Padres and Cubs are playoff teams down there too. Who knows where they're all sitting and locked up if they're going to be resting at the end. So Tigers are the 1 seed if they got division locked, and the Mets play them and let next week. Not that the Tigers are locked up by them, but are they going to be in cruise control?
The
opposite
opposite
on the team, the Mets are fighting that last playoff spot 4, so that's a big 3 right there.
Yeah, I think the opposite to that is, and you'll agree, is the last series with Miami. Now, you're talking about a team along with Washington who's out of it, right? They're out. They are out now. They will be out then. Who's to say they bring up a young stud, AAA promotion, and there's nothing to see. There's no footage. There's no tape for the players to hit, and you get an unexpected win, playing the spoiler. So that's the opposite. I don't want to, say those things, but we have to bring those up. Some of those games, they look easy on paper, but you never know who's going to be there. But these are this is a good matchup, these next 2, next series.
Field of Dreams game next year coming back. It's the Phillies and the Twins. Now, if you're like me, you can't repost everything when you first see it because you look like a fool. So I reposted this tweet that first came out, I would have been a fool. Some Mets moron put out there that would be the Mets and Phillies. A half hour later, he had to be corrected. So
it's nice to have the breaking story, but not too soon.
Yeah, that's why I see some breaking. I wait a good half hour.
Trust, but verify. Yes, that's what we do here at Sports and Songs.
We
don't make any mistakes here. So
no, I thought I made one once, but I was wrong.
Yeah, we double checked it. It was not a mistake.
It was not a mistake. Homework time. We are getting back to school, so you are going to see the homework assignments starting to pile up now, boys and girls. This one came out, 10 greatest athletes who never won a championship.
Oh,
Now, I got a problem with the list. Screaming. First of all, I see Karl Malone on there, but I don't see John Stockton. Those two are so joined at the hip at everything they did. I'm not saying they should have shared the number 3 spot, but maybe Stockton could have been 4. Barry Sanders at 6. Barry Sanders should have been higher than that. Dominique was a good player on a bad team. And also greatest players never win a championship. I don't see Ernie Banks' name on here.
bingo.
Just saying. So that I don't see any baseball on here. So that's kind of a sore spot to me. If someone said, hey, name me 10 players who are great that never won a championship, okay, here's these 10. In this order, I don't think so. I would have had Barry Sanders up higher. But and Jim Kelly, didn't he win one in the USFL? I can't remember.
Boy.
Have Kevin look that up as we're doing.
We're going to have Kevin, the intern. No, Kevin will look it up. He's not an intern. He was 3 years ago.
Yes.
But yes,
right.
Those are good. Those are good posts to show because they're subjective. They're great water cooler talk. They're great for shows like this because there's no right or wrong answer. They're just to get people to think.
It's our point of view, but just it kind of makes you live back to the history of the good old days.
Use a different part of your brain. Yes, think way back.
All right. Sabrina had a good point here that she goes, I'm tired of the WNBA being just a mini game on NBA 2K. And I agree. The WNBA, I think, is popular enough. It should have its own video game, not just be a little bit on the NBA game. You got the popularity, take the growth, and then you make your own game. And here's where the WNBA can have a leg to stand on. You make your own game. And if it is selling, then the players can have more of a right going, see, we should be making more money. Look how popular we are.
Good point.
So I see her point. I think the women's game is popular enough in the world. It doesn't have to be a play-in game or mini game on the 2K one. It should be its own game.
And maybe they did that just as a little test to see what kind of interest there is. And maybe they've got it. Maybe it's in development or something. I don't know.
Some more W talk. Paige Beckers joins Caitlin Clark as the second rookie in WNBA history with 500 points, 150 assists, 100 rebounds, and 50 steals in a season.
Wow.
Now, I'm not calling it now. I'm reminding you of something now.
Yes.
Caitlin Clark's missed more games than she's played this year because of injury. So, Paige Beckers, she's missed a handful of games this year because of injury. If Paige stays healthy next year, of course, her second year's stats will be better than Caitlin's.
Mm-hmm.
Do not go around saying how much better she is than Caitlin Clark. Caitlin ain't playing a lot of games this year.
Yeah, I see your point. Yeah, you can head this off at the head it off now because that's what's going to happen.
Now, and there's a lot of people saying that Paige is a better player than Caitlin Clark. Here's how I'm going to compare the two. Paige Beckers is more the Magic Johnson. Caitlin Clark's more the Larry Bird.
I see.
Okay. Does that make sense? Both great, but they're both different people. So if us old folk want something to compare it to, compare these two to Magic and Larry.
Yep.
They're both great players, but they're not similar enough to really give a fair comparison. Does that make sense?
I like it. All
right. Some more sports notes here. A little AEW wrestling action here. I'm going to talk. Mercedes Moné here. She's got I don't know, 9 different championships right now. with all the different associations, and I'm bored with it. When you get 2 or 3 of them, then I'm bored with it. I've lost interest. Every now and then, someone that WWE drops, all the independents go, let's give them our title and look how great they are. The titles all lose what they're worth then when they have too many on one person. Yep. She comes in for a cup of coffee, wins a belt. Therefore, she put butts in your seats, and you had a good draw for that week. And you maybe get 2 more draws out of her, and that's it. You made some money. That's all it was a money grab. Hey, you want to hold 10 championships? Come wrestle for us 3 times. You can hold our belt, and we'll pay you best we can. And you could just prove to everybody that you're a greedy little money bitch, because that's all it is. It's a money grab. You're not pushing the sport. You're not helping the other association. It's all a money grab, and I'm bored with it. I'm bored with her. I'm bored. AEW had a great pay-per-view yesterday, but when her matches come on, to me, that's a good time to go get a sandwich and something to drink. I don't know. Better than average wrestler, horrible on the mic, but I'm just bored with the bit. So there, I said it.
I like it.
Well, I actually got 2 quotes of the week, but they're from the same guy.
Wow.
Coach Prime. Deion Sanders' policy for his players in class. Okay, first of all, his list here, to me, is common sense. You're not being any big hard-nosed coach here, Coach. I wish is. And then you look at his picture here for those who watch on YouTube. No shades, no hoodies up, no headphones on. Don't sit in the back of the classroom. Must wear a shirt during online class. No walking around during online classes. What the hell? Common sense, dude. Of course. You must wear a shirt during online classes. Oh, my God. You know.
You got to spell it out.
And this is coming from the guy who had a DJ in the locker room and let them all party in the locker room beforehand, but got to have your shirt on in class. But you come to the locker room, we're going to act like a bunch of imbeciles. And oh, Jesus.
It is interesting. But
don't say cool yet. He loves the microphone, loves the sound of his own voice. Deion Sanders, okay, this could have been under the I'm going to hell for this category.
Okay.
Deion Sanders says the reason there aren't more black MLB players is because, in his quote, we don't have fathers and, quote, girls don't dig baseball players, quote. Tell that to Derek Jeter. And also, football players, sorry, we all can't be Tyreek Hill with 7, 8, 9 baby mamas out there. So maybe the baseball players that had the fathers is the example you want. Don't be promoting the football players to the fathers, because I don't see a big rap sheet on baseball players. Football players coming out have a pretty good rap sheet. A lot of them coming out their senior year in college here is their 2 kids and their 2 baby mamas already. That's not something to be proud of.
That's
interesting. Don't be proud of the fact that you should play football so you could be, like in basketball, be Anthony Edwards and brag about how much child support you pay. Football and basketball are becoming such unpopular sports to me because of an attitude like that.
That's a good point, though. It's I don't hear that enough, but you're right. The young folks, the youngsters out there do aspire to go to football and basketball. I don't see a lot of baseball out there.
Yeah. And, like I said, it's just the little things like that to get the old bird in me all fired up and all riled up and stuff. But my life was not the greatest one to emulate either growing up. So who am I?
Yes, but that's a good quote.
I'm not saying be like me.
It is. It's tough. The message you're pushing versus what you want to be out there.
Not be like Andy.
It is.
It's very strange.
Well, Andy,
that's what I got. I got one more point to say is back to the AEW stuff. They had a great pay-per-view. Just the women's wrestling part is going very well also. It's just a Mercedes Moné character I'm getting a little bored with. I just want to clear that up a little bit. That's where I stand on that. So now I'm done.
Well, a lot going on these last 2 weekends if you follow Minnesota State amateur baseball. There it
Yep.
is, Hutchinson, Brownton, Gaylord. Fourth site is Glencoe. 2 weekends are in the books. They're down to the final 8 teams, the Elite 8 in all 3 categories, Class A, Class B, Class C. 8 teams left. So 24 teams left with a chance to win it all. It's single elimination. Games will kick off again this Friday night. One game, a bunch of games Saturday, a bunch of games Sunday, and everything wraps up on Monday. There's 2 games Monday, the championships for A and B. C will be Sunday night. Brownton will host a night game, a championship under the lights. So
Yep.
keep in mind those things. It's always good. We are, by the way, the Sports and Songs podcast is the official sponsor, the official podcast, I should say, of the Brownton's Barney Tadson Field for all 3 weekends. So we are covering that. We will be there on site or tweeting. Here's the upcoming schedule for the games that we will be covering specifically here at Sports and Songs: the Friday night game, the Saturday slate, and the Sunday slate.
Now, if you
Behind
note
there,
the Friday game,
yes,
all the 8 teams play Friday night. They're using all
all
4
A.
sites. Each game Friday night is an A team. So
those quarterfinal games on Friday night for if you're in Class A, that'll all be you win, you advance to Saturday, you lose, you go home. All the quarterfinals on Friday night at 4 different locations, all starting at the same time, all under the lights. So if you're a Class A fan, get to those games. That should be good. There will be no games on Friday night for B or C.
right.
Then Saturday, they have B and C and A, and then Sunday and Sunday night as well, and then Monday. So Sunday, the games we're following is the state championship, 7 p.m., Class C at the bottom, TBA, 7 o'clock game. There's no Labor Day game for Class C. They'll be done
Yep.
Sunday night, as will Class A at their site in Gaylord.
Yep.
And then the only game on Monday is Class B. I believe that's a 1 o'clock game. There's only one game on Monday. All the rest will be done on Sunday night. So some good matchups there if you follow the Minnesota Baseball Association. Now, also in baseball, Andy, we like to cover the over 35 Federal League on the show.
Feds, yes. Big
The Federal
fans
League
of Feds.
over 35 senior men's baseball wrapped up. Here are the champions. There's 4 classes. What they do is have a tournament. Everyone makes the tournament. They break it down by regular season record, their winning percentage essentially. So the 3As, there's 10 teams that make that. The big dogs, Minoka Grays, congrats for them. Winning the big title, Apple Valley A's won Class AA. There's 8 teams there. Class A and B, there's also 8 teams. St. Michael Angels, winners of Class A, and in B, the Capital City Cannons. So hats off, congratulations. 2025 season is done. The Federal League is wrapped up.
Yep.
You know, fall league starts after Labor Day is done. The amateur will wrap up this one last weekend is Town Ball Amateur. The Fall Amateur Baseball League kicks off after that on that subsequent Wednesday. And NFL football preseason's done. There's some trades. There'll be some notable cuts coming up. There's things going on to get rosters solidified. Games will start here after Labor Day on a Thursday. But for college football, college games are kicking off this week. So look for a bonus episode, Andy. We're going to do a Minnesota Golden Gophers bonus episode, a preview, 2025 game-by-game schedule. And there's going to be, 4 of us on the show to give analysis, comments, predictions for the Golden Gophers. So if you're a big Gopher fan, look for that bonus episode to drop.
I got one more wrestling note. Local wrestling, AWA, those of us in our genre, think back to your youth.
Yes.
Jake the Milkman Milliman.
Okay.
I heard on a few reports today has entered hospice care. So thoughts and prayers to the Jake the Milkman Milliman family and friends. I've had a father go through a hospice. It's not a fun time. So just thoughts and prayers for Jake and the family.
Yeah, lots going on with that as well with different folks. And those kinds of things we see pop up on social media all the time.
Yep.
One thing for amateur baseball, I wanted to point out that when the season ended for amateur baseball, when the playoffs were going on, the local sports writers they do their rankings. So August 4th, I think, was the last rankings
Yep.
they did. For Class A, it was a tie for number one team. St. Patrick Irish tied for number one with the Chaska Cubs for Class A, the big,
Yep.
good, very good teams. And so they actually had a tie. St. Patrick never made the playoffs. They got beat and eliminated in the playoffs before the state even came. So Chaska is going this weekend in Labor Day weekend as the number one ranked team. Class B was the Jordan Brewers. They got eliminated. They got shut out. The number one team in the state. Class C, Cortland Cubs. I think they went wire to wire all season for Class C as the number one ranked team, the unanimous, essentially number one ranked team in the state. They got beat, also shut out this weekend. So you never know what's going to happen in state. Try to get out, watch those games, go to those games. You can look at anything you want on paper and predict, but you don't know what's going to happen, especially with these draftees.
Had an 18-inning game last night. The game we were at Saturday,
12 innings.
Painesville came back, tied and went 12 innings. You know, the team that some people said had no right to be there, let alone in the 12th inning, you know, stuff like that. That's why you play the games. They look great on paper, but that's why you play the game.
You never know what's going to happen. So the only comment I have, Andy, and this is a good one. This is one I kind of hear all the time. So I did a little research on it. I was talking to some folks. They said, you know that the Jordan Brewers got beat, 4-0 by a team from Foley, the Foley Lumberjacks.
Yep.
And I said, boy, I watched that game. I was on Game Changer a little bit, NSPN, kind of watched it. Not much was happening. It was good pitching performance from both sides. Foley got all their runs in the very first inning, and then it was a shutout the rest of the way. Nothing happened. Great pitching. But then I did hear that, Foley used a pitcher, a D1 stud came in, a lefty, really good, and pitched, and Jordan couldn't hit him. So we hear these things. These are all kind of hearsay things. So this was my homework for the week. I call it Dan's homework, right?
Nice title.
Just had to copy it. So I looked up. So it was Logan Winkleman came in for Foley. Good. Love the uniforms, by the way, Foley. My favorite so far, I think, of the tournament. The Lumberjacks jersey's awesome. Logan Winkleman, very good pitcher, 21 years old. But here's the backstory. You hear all this D1. He played in South Carolina as a stud. Well, you look up his stats as a freshman. Yes, he did go to University of South Carolina upstate. Small school, D1. Very small, low-end D1 school. He made 3 relief appearances, had 1.2 innings pitched for the entire year his freshman year. Didn't do anything, really. So you can rule off he's a stud from D1. Right. Is he good? Yes. The following year, he enrolled in a junior college. So that's not listed. That's not mentioned in the roster.
No,
he did pretty good there and did okay, but nothing spectacular, right? The next year, open rolls. This last year, it just completed his junior year. He's at a D2 school in Louisiana. So now he's making some more starts. He's getting more innings. His ERA is still about 5, I think. So jumping around, average pitcher, but when you're at a D1 level, D2 level, you're going to be good. But when you throw around phrases like D1 stud, they couldn't hit him. They couldn't do anything. He had them mastered. That may have been true. Maybe he had his good game.
Yeah, he could have been in the zone that day, yeah.
And he could have been in the zone. A phenomenal performance. Those Jordan hitters are no slouches. They can hit, and they've faced guys like that before, and have seemingly not had trouble. He was locked in. He did really good. But just keep in mind, he had 3 appearances at D1, went to junior college after that. Now he's in D2. He's jumping around. Good pitcher, don't get me wrong, but he's not a shutdown type of a guy that we're hearing about. He had a fantastic game. Now, the fact that he just completed his junior year for Winkleman, he could be a stud his senior year, could be, a D2 stud pitcher, and who knows what's going to happen. He could develop and really become good, but he is an average kind of a college cat now that we're seeing on these elevated town ball teams that are basically an average D2 team. A lot of these stud town ball teams are
Yeah.
basically an average D2 team. They're tough. All these guys are tough. Winkleman had a fantastic outing against the Jordan Brewers. So not want to hold anything back against it, but just either look it up, do your homework. You can research. Everything's available there on social media. He is a good pitcher, but really made 3 appearances at the D1 level in his entire career. One, not even 2 innings pitched. So very rarely used. It's probably why he opened a role to go somewhere else, but went down to a junior college and then now to a D2. So a lot of guys like that nowadays, as we see with sports in athletics at the college top premium level, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, hockey, if they don't get the playing time or they're not being used or they don't like it, they're going to jump ship and go somewhere else. They're going to move around until they fit in. So what Logan did is a very common thing. You're going to jump around until you kind of find the right fit. But he's in a northwestern part of Louisiana at a D2 school. Very competitive. Don't get me wrong. But he could be a guy to watch there his senior year in college. All right. Trivia question, Andy.
Okay, go ahead. What was it again?
Here's the question. The trivia question is, which baseball player, which professional major league pitcher on this day in 1985 broke the record for youngest pitcher to win 20 games in a season?
And the youngest pitcher to earn his doctorate also, Dr. K, Dwight Gooden.
Yes. Dwight Gooden from the Mets, 1985. This is August 25th. He had 20 wins as a 20-year-old. He was 20 years old. He wasn't even able to drink beer legally. And he's got 20 wins. So
you hear the stories about those Mets dugouts, he was drinking.
Oh, there was things going on. Don't get me wrong, but that is a record that do you think we'll ever get? I mean, Skeens is how old?
Yeah, we're not going to see many 20-game winners ever. Used to be 3, 4, 5 a year. Now you'll maybe see one every couple 3 years.
Yeah, now you'll see a lot in that 15 to 18 win range. A few 20s, but he had 20 by the end of August at age 20 years old. Are you kidding me?
Still had 4 or 5 starts left, 6 starts left on the year.
Oh, that's how amazing Mr. Dwight Gooden was. That's the trivia answer.
Good doctor.
We'll be back next week with all the results from the baseball and also the first week of college football, baby.
Bonus episodes this week. We got the Gopher preview. We got another Broughton show. We're going to have our regular songs episode, and I'll probably throw something else out there too.
Exactly. Have a good week, everyone.